Hey folks, I'm Papa Boris, and this is an interesting little demo, Become the Moon. In case you're not familiar, this is sort of like Hearthstone Battlegrounds meets a roguelike. I'm pretty interested in it. I don't know if I'm going to buy the full game, but let's check out the demo here. So, at the beginning of a run, you pick a character. Obviously, everything but one of them is locked in the demo, and you start. At the beginning of a run, you choose a reward. You also choose this after every fight, I think. The way it works is at the beginning of a run, you get a relic. You can't have more than 6 of those. These are kind of like, your typical Slay the Spirian things that upgrade you in some way. We're gonna go ahead and pick this to give your taunt minions +2 health at the end of each round. And we are in our first fight. So we start by doing a draft. We draft 5 cards. This is very Hearthstone Arena-esque, where you have 3 cards to choose from and you pick one to take. You can also re-roll your selections by paying a health. Health is a very precious resource though, so I'm probably gonna try not to do that. We'll grab Propaganda to make all future draft minions have extra stats. Then we also do need to get a minion, and since we have this relic that gives taunt minions +2 health, we'll grab the Dormant Ent. We're gonna go ahead and grab, I guess, a Frostbolt, which is a battle spell. We'll talk about those. It's free, so it's a pretty safe grab. And let's go ahead and grab a Pigeon, which is a flying minion. We'll also try to upgrade our taunt minion with some attacks. We'll grab the Lunar Spark. I know I'm not explaining everything thoroughly because it is a demo, but let's get into the basics. So the way this game works is that you have a board. You can put a certain number of minions on the board, and then you do a Hearthstone Battlegrounds style fight where it executes from left to right for each player, taking turns. When a minion attacks, it attacks an enemy minion at random, although taunt minions have to be attacked if there are any taunt minions on the board. You have 2 mana, so you can play 2 mana's worth of stuff, and your minions, when you buff them, they stay buffed forever, but then after a fight, everything kind of reverts to what it was at the beginning. So it's a little bit of a gamey thing, where if a minion gets buffed during a fight, that buff does not stay, but if a minion gets buffed before a fight, then that buff does stay. You also start with a bunch of these onboard cards, which give you a 1/2 minion for 1 if you don't have any minions. Or if you do have a minion, then what this does is it gives the minion like I think +1/+1 or +1/+2. There's also a Meta Crab, which is an interesting card that you start with. It restores you to full health, but each time you play it, it costs 1 more. Now, what's going to happen is after the battle, each minion that the winning side has deals 1 damage to the opponent. And then if you don't kill the opponent, so basically if you do not have a minion left over, then you and the opponent start bashing each other until one of you dies. And that's how you lose the game, is by getting bashed by your opponent's minions and your opponent. So this first fight, you could just fail it. You'll take 1 damage from this bird, and then you'll take another damage from hitting this thing in the face. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to just play this Propaganda, so all future drafts minions have +2/+2, and yeah, this does mean that I'm gonna get whacked, and then again. So you can kind of do this thing where you can trade off early wins in exchange for future benefits. Now, after each fight, you get a reward. The middle choice is always a relic. So this is a spell-oriented relic here. You can only have 6 relics, so you have to be careful taking relics all the time. Otherwise, you can get these 0-cost cards that have retained, meaning that they don't get discarded at the end of the turn, so you can wait for the perfect time to play them, and they usually give you some pretty strong benefits. So you can get a card from the deck that costs 1 less, or you can get 2 extra mana. We'll go ahead and grab 2 extra mana for the following round. All right, this time we're up against an elephant, also 1 HP, also 1 damage, but it has 3 enemies. Ranged means that when you attack, the enemy does not attack back. So I think this is the time to play my Ent, which will get 2 extra health at the end of the round, and that is permanent. I'll play the Frostbolt because it's free. So the way battle spells work is there's this queue, and then they will activate before your minions activate. So like when it's my turn, or when it's your turn to attack, if you have any battle spells, then that will cast instead of a minion attacking. I'll also play this Pigeon. We'll grab this build, and then we're gonna just go for like the super minion approach here. We're gonna give our taunt minion a bunch of HP and attack. See, that was +1/+1, it appears. So now we end the round. I kill a random thing with my Frostbolt. Flying minions also have a small chance to dodge. That didn't happen here. And since I had minions left over, I don't end up taking damage at the end of that round, and this thing grows its HP. After a friendly minion dies, your other minions gain 1 attack. Note that this is temporary, it's only during the round. What I'm gonna do is just grab Train to give a minion +3/+3, and we'll kind of keep going with our super minion here, the Taunter. Okay, we also tier up. So when you empty out your deck and would draw a card, but there's no card in your deck, you tier up, which increases your maximum mana by 1 and gives you another draft. So what I'm gonna do here, I think I want to take a minion since all minions have +2/+2. I don't really want to focus on spells, so this is a 6/7 with flying, which is pretty cool. This is a taunt shield. I think I'm going to take it because it is going to grow by 2 HP every turn. And the fact that it has shield, which is, you know, like divine shield in Hearthstone, means that things have to bash themselves at it twice. All right. Again, I'm not trying to focus on spells too much, so I'm not interested in this minion that much, though it is just a 5/4 with flying. What I think I'm going to do is grab the Spore Pod. These are really kind of nice. It may not seem like a huge deal to get spores that just have 1/1, but having more minions on the board can be extremely effective. All right, what I'm going to do here, I think, is grab this thing, which just buffs. Although this is, okay, so this is a battle spell. It's quick cast, meaning it casts right away, meaning the spell after it casts right away, but the benefit is temporary. This is not a permanent +1/+1. So maybe we'll just grab the cheapest thing here. Okay, I'm a sucker for Frostbolt, but I do love these pigeons, so we'll take a 4/5 flyer. And then I do like the idea of buffing minions here, so we'll take this. Card draw is interesting because card draw gets you through your deck faster, and getting through your deck faster means that you level up faster, which increases your mana. But by leveling up also adds a bunch of cards to your deck, which might not be that good of a thing. All right, we have ranged, normal minion, and a taunt. Okay, nothing crazy going on here. Let's go ahead and buff our Taunter. Let's play, I think, our other Taunter. And we'll Frostbolt because it's free. And unfortunately, we're out of mana. Now, this has 2 health, and basically what that means is that you need to have at least 2 minions left on the board if you don't want to take damage from it. As you go further in the game, the bosses not only have stronger boards, but also more HP and do more damage. So you have to have more minions. You have to like beat them harder, and it's worse if you don't beat them because of the higher damage they do. Okay, so this ups the dodge chance of flying minions from 33 to 66. But what I think I'm gonna do is grab the kill. So depleting is sort of like trashing, and instead of getting +2 mana for free, I'm just gonna also trash a card essentially to make it so that I level up more often. We have another 1/1/1. Now this one has double strikes, they attack twice. I think I'm actually in pretty good shape against that. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna deplete Propaganda. I don't think I wanna play this again because it's a little bit aggressive. Let's get our minion down. Oh, I should probably draw a card here. Let's add damage to the Taunter that has shield. We'll also play another pigeon. This is a 4/5, and then we have 1 left over. This is perfect. I definitely want to get rid of these onboards if possible, so let's go ahead and put that on. Let's see. I'm not sure what the difference is here. We'll put it on that Taunter, and in fact, why don't we put our junk before the Taunter? You know, minions do take turns attacking from left to right, so that these don't attack into the enemy. So you are gonna die. Oh yeah, that pigeon dies for absolutely nothing, so maybe that wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done. Luckily, we have 2 minions left over. He only has 1 HP, so that's fine. All right, when you play a spell on a friendly minion, I like this. Yes, we are going for buffing minions. I don't know if I said that or anything. That's just what I'm trying to do here. It's the strategy I found works. All right, this is a tricky one. So, we'll have to look at it in just a second. Oh, we can look at it now. So this has a spell. Give a random friendly minion 1/1/1, and if it's your only one, double its stats. So this thing gets out of control really fast, so you really need to kill it quickly. So I'm probably gonna need to use one of my Taunters to try to quickly bring it down. You have to really pay attention to the order of things. Okay, here I think we'll grab this, because that's essentially gonna give this like a +9 attack, which seems good. You can pay 3 mana to permanently raise your mana by 1. I'm actually gonna grab it because if I get it now, I could actually play it, I think, since I don't think I actually need that much mana this particular round if I get that 1 buff card, though I might of course not get it. All right, I don't think I need another one of these. We'll take Hail, though I don't know if I'm gonna use it. All right, we have another cheap big taunter, maybe I'll get that down. It's hard to say. When you play a spell on this, it gets an extra benefit. All right, after a friendly minion attacks. Okay, 4/4 for 1 seems fine. You do have a limit to how much space you have. What I'm gonna do is buff the attack on this one, because I'm gonna look to play that other card, the one that makes it match the attacker health. Okay, I didn't unfortunately get the one I was hoping for, but we can Frostbolt this thing, and I guess this is the time to put down a Spore Pod. I'm gonna have my biggest attackers going first, because I really need to kill this thing as soon as I possibly can. And do I want to use this just to gain 2 health? Hopefully I don't need to do that. Okay, so its stats got doubled. And then we're fine. I needed 2 minions alive this time, but it was important to put my biggest attackers first. Sometimes it's important not to do that. Every time you draw 8 cards, give your rightmost minion +2/+2, or just some free mana. Yeah, let's get some free mana. I have, I'll take the lower one that lets me also deplete a card. So there's some junk I'm not that interested in. All right, so this one, it shuffles the order of all of our minions, so we can't basically choose our order. And then we have a bunch of 6/5 flyers that have a chance to dodge every time you hit them. Okay, here it is. Attack and health equal to the higher of the 2, so now we have an 18/18 or a 19/19 because minions get +1/+1 whenever I buff them. So now let's keep on buffing that guy's attack. I really want to get rid of this onboard, and I'd like to get rid of a lot of, oh, hang on a second. We need to, let's get rid of the onboard because that's pretty junky. Although it is a 1 mana +2/+2. Hang on. Maybe I changed my mind about this meditate. Although I could deplete something and meditate if I think I can kill, I think I can kill those guys. All right, yeah, let's save the onboard, but let's get rid of this chaotic caster. And then we'll meditate, so we're gonna go ultimate greed here. Do I want my biggest thing going first? I don't think so, because I want the things to attack into it. Wait, what am I talking about? Of course I want them to go first. I want them to get the kills as soon as possible. And I think we'll take this suiciding as well to get a couple of extra flyers. And we'll take that going. All right, that's fine. Okay, didn't dodge. Our order, oh right, our order gets shuffled. So pretty much all I got to choose was who went first. All right, 2 damage went in an irrelevant spot. There's that 33% dodge. And I'm 1 off killing it. But luckily my big taunter survives, and we managed to do the damage necessary. It's very important to pay attention to what you're fighting, because from one round to the next, there can be a really huge difference. Okay, what I'm gonna do here is, since I don't actually have that, I mean, I'm not dodging that often, we're gonna take this ban, and we're gonna keep an eye out for a really good opportunity to use it. It does have retain, so it stays in the hand. Just 2 HP, and we got, each of our minions chooses a random enemy minion to steal 1/1 from. That's really troublesome. And then we have quick attack and death touch. So I need my taunter to be, my shielded taunter to be first to block the death touch. This is ranged, and then these are all quick attack range, and then these also summon spores. Okay, that's fine. I could have gotten rid of the death touch, but luckily I have the shield, although it could hit my big taunter. So, I don't know, depending on how frisky I'm feeling, I may or may not deal with it. Okay, so we can pay 7 mana for this, which is amusing, but I'm not gonna go for that, I don't think. We can get +1/+1 permanently on this thing whenever a minion dies if I'm willing to invest in it. Let's take this. It's a safe play. 2 health, additional 1 health for each card in your hand. I could take another shield jockey. It's kind of expensive. Let's go for this because it does buff extra with my party popper. Yeah, I think we have all the minions that we need. Now here I'll give the health and card draw. We don't have any buffs here. I'm not gonna re-roll. I could do this to make the pigeons have extra 1/1, but these are pretty irrelevant at this point. We'll just take the cheapest thing. And let's grab a fireball. Okay, so now I'm basically deciding whether to take a 50-50 on this death touch. Now what you can do is you can actually put things back in your hand. So I can take this and put it back into my hand in order for it not to get killed by the death touch. Does it keep all the stats? I don't actually know. Let's find out. It does. So it keeps all the stats. So I'm going to put it back in my hand. It means I have to pay 1 mana to put it back later. But this guarantees that when this thing attacks, it death touches into my divine shield. And so now what I think we'll do is give it some health and a card. Frostbolt is free. We are gonna... Oh, I should have done this first. Additional health for each card in your hand. Perfect. And I guess we just onboard it and acclimatize it. So we have a taunt shield 32-32, and that should be fine. Okay, so we kill that random thing. Everything, and remember, these all steal 1/1 from my minions, which is a little bit scary. Oh, right, I attack first. Oops, I screwed up horribly. So now we are really screwed. I forgot that I attack first. So that means that I actually popped the Divine Shield attacking, and now we are in some very, very bad shape. I should have kept my other big taunter on. I took off like, 19 out of 22 stats, which is obviously a problem. So we're gonna get hit for 5. And then we're gonna pound this thing a couple of times to kill it. Luckily, I'm still not dead, but it means if I get hit any more, then it is over. All right, we don't really care about this. I already have one of these, so I guess we'll take the mana. Yes, that clever play of putting the minion back into my hand was just me suiciding myself that time. Activate the on-death effects of your minions, and their on-death is deal 4 damage to random enemy minion 4 times. So it's a pretty serious business over here. Do I want to do this, try to kill them beforehand? Maybe. Okay, well, first of all, we got our Meta Crab, so that's good. We're gonna get all of our health back. Let's give this some more attack and draw a card. Let's give you some more attack and draw a card. Now my deck is empty, so this should give it +6/+6. We want as much health as humanly possible on this thing. I guess we'll do a fireball. And I don't think I need to build here. I can't even cast Hail. So yeah, we'll play that just for the sake of playing it. And then we're gonna pass. I could have banned one of these effects, but I think I'm actually gonna be fine with my 45 health guy. Notice how handy it is that I'm summoning these 1/1 spores, because they give some fodder to take up these. Oh no, I am totally not fine. These things are gonna hit enough times that this thing is gonna die, because 4 times 4 is a lot. Now it's not over because I healed, so I just have to whack that guy to death myself, but I probably should have used the ban. You may discard a card to draw a card. That seems pretty good. Yep, so that'll get you through the deck faster. It'll also help you level up more often. Now we're at a 3/3/3, so this is serious business. This one is 3 damage to random enemy minion and summon another fatigue with 3 spell power. So basically you have to chew through a bunch of these 0/14s, but this keeps doing an extra 3 damage every single time. All right, well, this is the final thing in the demo. So at this point it's just a matter of, what could possibly help me. Lose 3 attack to deal 3 damage to random minion, repeat until impossible. Your left minion copies the stats of the leftmost enemy minion, and it's a battle spell. That's not going to help here. I don't think any of this stuff is going to help. All right, we'll do that again because it is a buff. We'll, I guess, just take that because it's cheap. This thing, I think I can actually use it on the one that's in my hand. Use of each card in your hand until played. Okay. So we're gonna choose a card to discard. My ban is actually irrelevant, so I'm gonna discard that. All right, there's my big taunter, so we're gonna play him. He one-shots these things, which is good. The Frostbolt is free. Let's do that and draw a card. Should I do this? It does give me some fodder. I don't need more attack because these guys already one-shot these big fattos. So I suppose we're playing Hail. I might as well build here. Let's buff this up. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I guess for the future's sake. And I should have drawn a card first. That just actually would have been nice to get down. All right, and that's that. So we deal 3 damage 6 times because I had 6 minions. This thing is doing more and more damage, but luckily my big taunters will kill this. We have these guys to soak up some of the hits of that evil spell. Now their attacks, unfortunately, are irrelevant, so there was some consideration for just clearing the board and only having these guys attack. I hope that, yeah, this only does 21. My guy has Divine Shield. So the issue is I don't kill this boss with my remaining minion, and he hits me twice. But the fact that I got him once means I saved myself. All right, so that was a round of the demo. I have died way more times than I have won, so even though it looked a little bit easy perhaps because I screwed up horribly and still managed to get through, this is a pretty challenging game, something I'll be keeping an eye on. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.